In the summer of 2026, 48 nations will walk into the FIFA World Cup. Brazil, Argentina, Germany, France, and a Caribbean island of 160,000 people that most football fans couldn't find on a map 3 years ago. Curaçao, 444 square kilometers, 0 World Cup appearances, ever. Meanwhile, Italy, 4-time world champions, the nation that basically invented the art of looking beautiful while losing, didn't make it. They got knocked out by Bosnia. Bosnia, the country that invented the espresso, couldn't qualify for the biggest football tournament on earth. So Italy is home, eating pasta, staring at the ceiling, and Curaçao is going to Houston, Texas. Let that sink in for a second. The capital is Willemstad, a UNESCO World Heritage City with buildings so colorful it looks like someone let a child loose with a giant box of crayons. Dutch colonial architecture painted in bright yellow, coral pink, electric blue. Beautiful and slightly chaotic, which, now that we think about it, describes their football team quite well. The official language is Papiamentu, African, Portuguese, Spanish, and Dutch thrown into a blender and served warm. People switch languages mid-sentence without thinking about it. The food? The national dish is keshiena, Edam cheese stuffed with spiced chicken, baked until it melts into something that has absolutely no right to be as delicious as it is. Walk through the Plaza Biu market in downtown Willemstad, and someone will hand you a plate of goat stew before you can even ask for a menu. Dutch windmills and Caribbean palm trees, same street. This is Curaçao. And somehow, this place is going to the World Cup. Here's the thing about Caribbean football nobody tells you. The best players from these islands don't actually grow up on the islands. They grow up in the Netherlands because their parents emigrated decades ago looking for better opportunities. They develop in European academies, get scouted by top clubs, become professionals, and then one day they face a choice. The big country where you were born and raised, or the small island your parents came from. Leandro Bacuna was born in Groningen, Netherlands. Dutch youth teams, Premier League with Aston Villa and Cardiff City, a serious professional career in Europe. In 2016, he chose Curaçao. His brother Juninho made the exact same call. 2 Premier League players, both born in Groningen, both now wearing the blue jersey of a 444 square kilometer island. Now consider the other path. Jorginho Wijnaldum, Rotterdam-born, Feyenoord's youngest ever player at 16, Champions League winner with Liverpool, one of the greatest Dutch midfielders of his generation. His family roots trace back to the same Dutch-Caribbean world. He chose the Netherlands, European Championships, World Cups, the biggest stages. Then the phone stopped ringing. Koeman told him directly, no longer needed. A career that peaked at Anfield ended with a quiet phone call. 2 players, same heritage, same Dutch upbringing. The Bacuna brothers chose the small island and are going to the World Cup. Wijnaldum chose the big country and is watching from home. Like we said, football has a brutal sense of humor. Building a World Cup squad from a diaspora takes time. Curaçao had spent years learning that. Failed campaigns, early exits, near misses that hurt more than losses. Then came Dick Advocaat, 77 years old, legendary Dutch manager who had coached Netherlands, Belgium, Russia, Serbia, and now a Caribbean island with 160,000 people and 0 World Cup history. The football world politely smiled. Nobody took it seriously. Big mistake. Advocaat arrived with one philosophy: structure first, everything else second. He looked at players scattered across Eredivisie clubs, Turkish leagues, English championship clubs, and saw not a diaspora project, but a real team waiting to be organized. The campaign started perfectly. 4 games, 4 wins. Barbados 4-1, Aruba 2-0, St. Lucia 4-0, Haiti 5-1, 12 points, maximum. No drop points, no drama. Then the final round, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Bermuda, the real test. Here's where it gets interesting. After every match, the players celebrated. Music, dancing, Caribbean culture at full volume. And Advocaat would quietly disappear to his room, watch the footage alone. While the squad danced, the 78-year-old coach was already building the next game plan. November 13th, 2025, Curaçao traveled to Bermuda and won 7-0, away from home. 7. The entire island buzzed for days. Then came Kingston, Jamaica, November 18th, the final match. Win or draw, World Cup. Lose, go home. 90 minutes, 0 goals. The most important goalless draw in Caribbean football history. The whistle blew. Players collapsed. Some laughed, some cried. Leandro Bacuna, born in Groningen, who chose this island 10 years ago, stood on that pitch and wept. Curaçao, the smallest nation by population and area ever to qualify for a FIFA World Cup. 3 months later, Dick Advocaat resigned. His daughter was seriously ill. He never got to coach the team at the tournament he had built them for. Some prices are too high even for history. So what does this team actually look like on the pitch? Compact defensive shape, ruthless on the counter. They don't play pretty football, and they don't pretend to. They press smart, they defend deep, and the moment they win the ball, they move fast. Very fast. 10 qualifying matches, 7 wins, 3 draws, 0 defeats. The numbers don't tell you everything. They never do in football. What the numbers can't show you is Rangelo Janga, 24 international goals, a career across 5 countries. The kind of striker who makes defenders nervous not because of his technique, but because he simply never stops running. Or Gervain Castanier, 5 qualifying goals, the sharpest weapon in the attack. Or Leandro Bacuna, 34 years old, Premier League quality, directing everything in midfield. And this World Cup is the final chapter of a career he completely redirected by one quiet decision in 2016. In goal, Eloy Room. Playing in the United States, one of the most capped players in Curaçao history, the foundation of everything defensively. This team won't dazzle you. They'll grind you down. They'll make you work for every single inch. They'll absorb your best attacks, frustrate your best players, and then hit you on the break when you least expect it. It's not glamorous. It's not the football you see on highlight reels, but it works. Because football is played on a pitch, not on a spreadsheet. The ball is round. Always has been, always will be. Upsets happen not because the underdog got lucky. They happen because the underdog believed, prepared, and executed when it mattered. This team has already proven they know exactly how to do that. 10 matches, not 1 defeat. That's not a coincidence. That's a mentality. All right, let's meet the people actually doing this. In goal, Eloy Room, Miami FC, the most capped goalkeeper in Curaçao history. 6 clean sheets, 30 saves across the entire qualifying campaign. Quiet, organized, the kind of goalkeeper you don't notice. And in football, that's the highest compliment. The back 4, Sharandi Sambo at Sparta Rotterdam, Sharel Floranis at PEC Zwolle, Eredivisie-tested fullbacks who know how to defend a low block. And then the 2 center backs who deserve your attention. Armando Obispo, PSV Eindhoven, 26 years old, Champions League experience with PSV this season. A center back playing for one of Europe's most attack-minded clubs, and somehow ends up at a World Cup representing a 160,000 person island. Beside him, Jurian Gari at Abha in Saudi Arabia. Composed, physical, the kind of defender who makes strikers regret their life choices. The midfield, Livano Comenencia at FC Zurich anchors the base. And then the Bacuna brothers, Leandro at Igdir FK in Turkey, Juninho at FC Volendam. 2 brothers, born in the same city in the Netherlands, now running the engine room of a 160,000 person island at a FIFA World Cup. If that doesn't make you feel something, nothing will. Up front, Gervain Castanier at Terengganu, Jeremy Antonis, and Kenji Gore at Maccabi Haifa. Pace, directness, the ability to punish you if you switch off for 1 second. But there's one more name, Tahith Chong. Born in Willemstad, Curaçao. Scouted by Feyenoord at age 10. Joined Manchester United's academy at 16. Champions League nights at Old Trafford, Club Brugge, Werder Bremen, Birmingham City, Luton Town, Sheffield United. He played over 40 international matches for the Netherlands youth teams. He could have been Dutch. On paper, he was Dutch. But all his family is in Curaçao. He left the island at 8 years old and came back every summer. For him, switching to Curaçao wasn't a football decision. It was a homecoming. At 4.5 million euros, he's the most valuable player on this squad, the most recognizable name in European football circles. And he's wearing the blue of a 444 square kilometer island at the World Cup. Same story, different chapter. Curaçao keeps writing it. Their system is a 4-2-3-1, double pivot, low block, disciplined lines. They don't build attacks, they steal them. Group E, Houston, Texas, June 14th, Curaçao versus Germany, then Ecuador, then Ivory Coast. Let's be honest about what's in front of them. Germany have 4 World Cups. Ecuador have appeared 4 times. Ivory Coast, twice. Curaçao, 0. Until now. The quality gap is real, and anyone who tells you otherwise is either lying or trying to sell you something. But here's the thing about football that analysts, statisticians, and spreadsheet warriors tend to forget. The ball is round. It doesn't know the rankings. It doesn't care about expected goals or possession percentages or how many Michelin stars the opposing nation's cuisine has. And every team that has ever underestimated a small nation at a World Cup has paid for it. Senegal beat France in 2002. Nobody gave them a chance. Iceland held Argentina in 2018, and an entire nation of 330,000 people did the Viking clap in unison. Saudi Arabia beat Argentina in 2022, and Messi, the greatest player who ever lived, stood on that pitch looking like someone had just told him his Wi-Fi password stopped working. Football doesn't read the memo. New coach Fred Rutten, who replaced Advocaat in February 2026, inherits a battle-tested squad with a clear idea identity, a defined system, and something that no transfer budget in the world can purchase: the weight of an entire island on their shoulders. 160,000 people, one football team, every single one of them watching on June 14th when Curaçao walks out against Germany in Houston. Back in Willemstad, they'll be gathered around TVs in the Plaza Butte market, eating keshiena, drinking something cold, watching their island play Germany in a World Cup in Houston, Texas, on planet Earth. This is real. Italy, meanwhile, is still on the couch, probably on their fourth espresso, staring at the wall, wondering how a 160,000-person island qualified for the tournament they couldn't. The nation that gave the world Catenaccio, the most defensive football system ever invented, got out-defended by a Caribbean island. Let that one sit for a moment. The smallest country at the biggest party. They earned every single second of it.